But let me tell you why real estate is so important to be in your arsenal, whether it's a business or a portfolio or both. If I walk into a bank today and say, you know what, stock market's doing good. Where's your loan department so I can borrow money to buy stocks? Oh, there isn't one. But you know what you will find? A mortgage department, whether it's the Great Depression or the Roaring 2000s.
Right.
That should tell you something.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Podcast. I'm your host, Micah Johnson, and today I'm speaking with Sensei Gilliland, who's been making serious moves in real estate investing now for over 3 decades. Sensei, welcome in, man. Glad to have you.
Pleasure. It's always a pleasure to be with you guys.
Absolutely, man. I'm excited for you to be here today. You've done this for a long time. You've been highly successful at it for a long time, and that's led to doing a few new things that are stretching you, which is awesome. And I just think folks are gonna get value out of your story here and what you've done and how you've done it, man. So let's dig in. For those who aren't familiar with you yet, tell us a little more about yourself and what your main
Yeah.
focus is right now.
Yeah. My name's Sensei Gilliland, as you mentioned, with Black Belt Investors. And we have been around for over 30 years. We are one of the oldest turnkey providers in actually in all of California. And our main focus here is real estate education. So whether you want to, build a business in real estate by buying and selling or create wealth, we help you build portfolios and or a business. We offer coaching and consulting. And as I mentioned, we're one of the oldest turnkey providers in California.
Love that, man. Well, take us back. What led you to where you are today? Why Turnkey? What happened then? And take us through it.
Well, I think like you'll like this story because I actually started out in Florida.
Heck yeah. Come
And,
on.
living here in Southern California, I had my martial arts business going. We grew them to 11 facilities. I had watched an infomercial one night, and it was all about buying and fixing and flipping properties, something I wanted to do. And I had my days free. Martial arts is a kids and adults program, which is after hours. I had my days free. So I went to the seminar,
Okay.
spent about $1,800 for a 3-day session. Next thing you know, I'm swiping my credit card. Spent $35,000 for a bunch of what they call workshops or seminars back in the 90s. They didn't call them boot camps. And I traveled around the country learning all about, these shiny things about real estate. But what it boiled down to is really wholesaling and fixing and flipping for me because I wanted paychecks. And I bought my very first fix and flip in Fort Myers, Florida. And
Okay.
and I did that remotely. I did it from Southern California. Think about it, back in the 90s, we didn't have digital cameras. We barely had the internet. And I didn't have the cash to go back and forth to review this property. I was just hoping and praying that the team over there was doing their job. They said it'd take about 3 months to fix this place up and get it up listed for sale. It didn't. It took much longer than that. And so what I had to do is I funded my rehab on my credit cards. And back then you could take a credit card, charge it up, transfer it to a balance of another credit card the next month so you don't have to pay any interest and move it over to another credit card. And so I did this vicious triangle for several months.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
And what ended up happening is 9 months later, I received a check in the mail for a little over $9,000. I'm thinking, not a whole lot of money, but it is a lot of money to me because back then,
Right.
I'm in my 20s. And you know what? I realized I did this remotely without having to see any photos, without, having to travel back and forth because I didn't have the cash to do it. And I made a little over $1,000 per month, somewhat passively. And so
Right.
just like a can of Pringles, I had to pop that top and dig in and grab another one and go after it, and so I built my little my little empire at that time in Florida. I moved across the west side over, I should say the Sun Belt over to the West Coast and started fixing flipping properties over here.
Man, it's fascinating because you're right. It's easy to remote now. It's never been easier to invest remotely. You're talking about in a time where faith was high up on the list, man.
It sure
That
was. I
is
mean, it was a time where couriers would come to your house to sign loan docs. You know what I mean?
right, right. Like it's a whole everything was way more mechanical and not electrical at all. And it's the fact that you can do it. That's what I love for people to hear, these kind of things. Like you can solve it. That's just the reality of real estate. It's a problem solving game. If you're good at solving problems and you enjoy it, you're going to have a lot of fun here.
100%. So whether
So
you're, hey, it doesn't matter what you're doing. I don't care if you're a truly active investor as a realtor, or if you're fixing and flipping or doing purchase options, or a little bit more. I don't never say passive investor because if you passive, that's a hobby. You'll never get paid to lose money. If you're into rentals, it's a residual income. But either way, you're always solving problems,
right,
and
right.
we get paid to solve problems, and we're here to serve by far and most. So serve first, get paid second.
Exactly, especially for single family residential. Like one thing that folks, they usually learn the math problem first.
Yeah.
And that's good, but that person you're usually buying a home from, they don't have a math problem. They're actually they're willing to be on the wrong side of a math problem if
Right.
you solve their problem correctly,
Right.
because the reality is, and what I learned in mine is money is not what they're worried about. They are worried about solving something else, and they are willing to do this, and done well, they will thank you for it. They
Yes.
will really, it is and that's what really is moving about it. When the people that are really good at this, they are really helpful. Actually, they're really helpful. They're not
Yeah.
taking anything. They are really, really helping somebody. And that's what's, man, you don't think about it on the outside, but it's a
Right.
beautiful thing that happens. Like I really
Right.
appreciate it and have been a
Right.
part of it because you see it. You see what happens in their life.
For sure. So listen, like you said, if you sell a house, a single family over to a home buyer, you're one and done. You're off to the next deal, right? But in my case, my target buyer are investors. They buy rentals from me. And so my job is to solve a problem now and foresee problems in the future and eliminate and hedge against that risk so that investor doesn't just buy one, they buy 7 from me, right?
Right.
So it's very important to be able to forecast any type of liability that investor may inherit, so they have a seamless transition of building their rental portfolio, and you also retain the client because you are serving them first.
Exactly. Exactly. Now, why turnkey? What led you there?
Well, well, I'm on the rehab business, right? So
Right.
and rehabbing step down is a wholesaling business. So I pick up properties at a significant discount. I refurbish them, and then I was selling them to the home buyers, and home buyers would only buy one from me. So
Right.
then I decided, let's change that target. Let's focus on investors because I want rentals too. So I would find deals, fix them up using investors' money.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency. It's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
And then I would partner with them and hold that rental together. So I was the legs and the brains behind it, and they would be the money source. So I started building my rental portfolio in that direction. And then what I've noticed is that, okay, great. They want more than one. So it was much easier to find that at that time, it was much easier to find the properties and get them at an acquisition that's affordable for everybody. It was a little bit harder to find the buyer at that time until we hit the 2000s. 2000s,
Gotcha.
then there was a lot of buyers that came along, and then they kind of died off again. And I went back to the wholesaling tactics and worked the auctions back in the later 2000s. And then everybody started jumping back on the bandwagon to where we start building up that investor network. So it's important to me to focus on investors because not just to make money, but there's a lot of people like you and I and others out there that just don't have the savings or the retirement that they thought they were going to have, or maybe have never started it. And so here, Black Belt Investors allows them to step into something extremely affordable and have an asset that produces appreciation, equity, tax deductions, cash flow, and it's easy for them to manage. And now they've got a little or large portfolio that supplements their other retirement plan.
Man, I love that because you said it a second ago, and it reminded me of something that another group I'm in, we call it the deal triangle, which is, in each deal, there's pretty much three parts. There's a deal finder, there's an operator gets it done, and there's a deal funder. And very often, especially real estate people, they're good deal finders and operators. But that funder one is the one that can be elusive for
Right.
most. And that's where you're proving it's a very valuable skill to be the two, if you can do that, because now you can go plug in, especially if you have that heart of service. That's where there's nothing like real estate, especially in America. And when you are encountering the people like you're talking about and providing a way where they never were going to get this otherwise, right? They don't care about fixing a house. They don't want to start at step one. That's
Right.
not their thing. But that's great for us because we want to be in business. We'll do step 1 through 3. You can
Right.
have step
Right.
4.
Right.
Dealio.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And the cool thing about it is it has allowed me to cherry pick the deals that I want to keep for my own portfolio. And wholesaling is fantastic because if you know how to operate a business properly, wholesaling should be very easy because you can wholesale basically anything, right? Every product is a wholesale product, and then you start marketing to that point. But it allowed me to assign contracts and fund my rehab projects. I started out as a rehabber where I had to go to Bank of America, put 10% down at that time, I had to pay mortgage payments, but flipping the contracts allowed me to self-fund to a point where Black Belt Investors doesn't use any lending today at all. And we've done over 10,000 flips over the last 30 years. And so with that, we acquire properties with our own funds. And we no longer, we cut out that middleman that's making that interest. When as well as I do, hard money lenders are very expensive. It can really eat
Yeah.
and make and break a deal if you're not expedient in your rehabs.
Exactly. They add stress to it. Things start going like you don't want them on a flip, and you have that hard money out there, man. It gets harder and harder to sleep. That is what's happening. And that's a powerful tool to use. And I love the way that you're talking about it because it's what I see the best, what I call the professional real estate investor. When you've built that business that does it, it's a machine that finds a wholesale deal, then determines best how does best dispose. Who is it? Is it to
Mm-hmm.
my own stuff? Is it to someone else? Is it
Yep.
wholesale first? And they just run it up the chain. Is it wholesale,
Yep.
fix and flip? Who's this going to? And that is how you capitalize. The only way to do it in any market is you need to be able to dispo multiple ways because one channel doesn't survive the whole cycle. That's what I've seen time and time
That's
again.
very, very true. And I'm going to add on to that if you don't mind.
Please.
in martial arts, right? People would come to me and say, Sensei, I want to learn grappling. I want to learn Taekwondo. I want to learn boxing. I want to learn all these different arts, right?
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
You got to master one first. You have to be a black belt in one first, and then it's okay to add on the next. Because otherwise, if you start, dabbling in purchase options, lease options, contract for deeds, wholesaling, rehabbing, mobile home parks, great. Now you're a jack of all trades and a master of none. Right? So master the first one more than anything, and you got to figure out, what is that first one? To me, it's whatever's affordable to you, not just in money, but also in time and knowledge. And also, which one's going to get you the fastest paycheck if that's what you're after?
Right.
Is it going to be a rental portfolio or is it going to be a business?
Right. And you're Charlie Mungering it. Invert. Where are you trying to get to? And we are going to backdoor our way there. And it's so important because it really tells you that channel. If money is what you need fast, wholesaling, there you go. That's your fastest way to do it. You can turn it there. If you've got that time and you can hold, okay, find that next deal like you're saying. And it's one of the coaches I work with, he always called it building a stable planet. Like build a place that you're really good at before you go somewhere else, because it's what lets you go see the world, right? You always got to be able to come back to something before you can leave it. So like build that, really understand it. And that's where that thing latches on, because those companies I mentioned, and like you're saying, they've been through cycles. That's how they know to add channel. Right. That's kind of what shows you is you're learning. Like, why do you change things that are good? And then boom. Right. Oh, hold on. Adjustment, y'all.
Well, here's the thing, I've been doing this since 95, right? Now we're in 2026. You have to be like a Navy SEAL when it comes to real estate. You have to adapt. You have to learn, stretch, and adapt. If you don't, you're out of business. Listen, I don't know where you were back in 2008, but 2008 and 2009, 10, there was a lot of scrambling going on, and a lot of real estate businesses went away. They went back to work at Walmart or where they were working before. And then they came back, right around 2012, 13 and 14, when things started getting easy and good again. But those that stuck around and knew how to adapt and shift with markets and be able to manipulate and have a deal and throw it in your funnel and know, is this going to be a whole? Am I going to sign it? Am I going to double close it? Am I going to lease option this? Am I going to do a sandwich lease option with? Am I going to, that's it, right? You have to have some arsenal to your belt.
Right.
But you only have that extra arsenal once you've mastered how to work this one first.
Right. Because it goes across the board. And we were talking a little bit about that with, now you're into buying businesses and looking at those, but the nuts and bolts of it are the same. The niche is different. It's like, it's what commodity does your machine put out? That's the difference. The machine, the nuts and bolts on the ground level, that's the same part. And it's like Amazon. I always say this to people, Amazon only sold us books for 9 years. Never forget, for 9 years, that's it. And now they can sell you everything.
That's right.
Okay. Think about that. There's a lesson in there, y'all, on that, because that's the reality. If everyone's your customer up front, no one's your customer. Right. Everyone becomes your customer later. That is not an upfront thing.
The cool thing about Amazon is they're selling all these products to something that they don't own. Right?
Yeah. Life hack.
It's like Uber, right? You've got all these cars out there, but they don't own one car. You know what I mean? So
not one, man. And it's, heck, that's why it's kind of fun to live today. Like, if you don't feel like you have opportunity today, we got to work on your mindset. That's a mindset issue. And because it's even when times are hard, we're in a place where there is opportunity if you're willing to go find it. And that's where you find opportunity is it's in the daily stuff, like you're saying. You get the opportunities at the home run deals by doing those little things each day.
Absolutely. And that's the whole thing. It's consistency each day. Don't skip a day. Don't wait till the weekend. I don't care if it's 5 minutes per day. To me, that's 5 minutes per day is much better than an hour on Saturday. You know what I mean?
Right. 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 I agree. And I'm really big into journaling. I've got almost actually in a couple of weeks, I'll cross 4 years in a row written down of each day. And I love to go
Wow.
back and read it. It's part of my routine. I'll go back each morning and read different sections of life. And what it really showed me was it's really all about the little things. Very few big things happen, and they're always a byproduct of really the little things. And it's not that much. Our brains like to see it all as this one thing. But really, when I look at it, how I document, it's like, it's mostly just these little in the middle moves. It's not that much, but it's consistent each day, pressing, 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 go to sleep, wake up, wake up. And now I can look at 4 years ago and now and be like, whoa, that's cool. That's cool to
Well,
see like
let
in
me ask
real
you this,
life.
Mike, because I'm curious, because you mentioned mindset and you said little things every day, and you've been consistent for 4 years journaling, which is phenomenal. Going back and reading your journaling, how much worry was there and how much that worry actually came to fruition?
Exactly. There was a ton up front. What really changed too, one of my bots I trained, I let it read it because I want it to give me feedback and things I can't see, like show me stuff I can't see in this.
Yeah.
And what it really helped me see was the early couple years, the way I wrote was actually really dramatic. It was very like
Yeah.
just interesting. And when I look at those years, yeah, I had a lot of chaos in my life, like inside stuff I was
Yeah.
working on in personal development. And now the writing is very calm. It's not flowery. It's very bland. And that's what it was showing me is like, you can actually watch you calm down through
Right.
4 years. And that's this thing is like realizing none of the stuff you worry about actually comes true. And I got a weird background in that. I was raised in a world where we were in a doomsday cult as a kid, where the world was ending, right? Like
Mm.
you grow up believing the
Mhm.
world's going to end. You talk about a limiting belief.
Right. Right.
That one gets in the way of stuff. And it was really going through that as a person, seeing how often really that's just it. And that's what I love for people to hear is if the words "it's not for me" is going through your mind, ask a second time. Do you really not like it or are you just scared? Because both are options. There's plenty of stuff
Yeah.
I don't want to do because I don't like. There's some things I don't want to do and they make me feel a certain way inside. And that's
Right.
like, there's the door. I need to walk through that one.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, good point. I love that. Um, you know, what I hear it from you and where I'm trying to take this is how can we get people to listen to this and understand it to be able to attack their dreams, whether it's real estate investing or, building a different type of business. And the reason I ask for worry is because fear is the biggest factor, isn't it? The biggest F word that people come across and they trip up on themselves. We all know that. In fact, the people listening today know that themselves because we all go through it. But with a little bit of guidance, a little bit of consulting, a little bit of coaching, those two are different, by the way, and just getting your boots dirty, you'll find that that fear goes away very quickly.
It does. I couldn't agree more. And that's where I like people to know it's the indicator. It really is. I like golf. And Jack Nicklaus used to talk about before a golf tournament on the first tee, I only felt a certain way then. Only that could make me feel this way
Mm.
inside. And then he talked about other places eventually in his life. He said, but what I noticed was it was always the opportunity for something good to happen. That's what that feeling was because
Yeah.
it didn't necessarily feel great, but it was that. I was just like, wow, that is fascinating because it really is like we want safety, protect
Yep.
ourselves, but it's that exposure. But especially like you were saying, it's with people, especially in real estate. Real estate is a team sport, y'all. Nobody got anywhere alone. Nobody, nobody. It's not
Absolutely.
the way
You
that
know what I
works.
hate? I'll tell you, it's a pet peeve of mine when people say, I'm a self made millionaire. BS. You had a team around you, people were helping you. You're just the one standing in the spotlight because you pushed everybody behind.
Right.
No self made
Right.
millionaires,
No.
team made millionaires. So
Exactly. That
everybody's got to surround themselves with a team. That's why it's important to have podcasts. So when, instead of driving down the freeway, listening to, country rap, they can be listening to this podcast and get something educational, expand their mind a little bit and
right.
learn how to expose yourself because you're not going to
Bingo.
grow unless you expose yourself. There's nothing wrong with being vulnerable. There's nothing wrong with stepping out in front, not knowing what's going on. Toddlers do it. Why can't we do it?
That's the literal analogy I used, man. You took the words out of my mouth. And failure is the process of perfection. My kids showed it to me when they learned to walk.
Yeah.
They failed over and over. They never got upset. They didn't get the only time they're upset when they hurt themselves a little bit, which, okay, we
Right.
get bumps, but now they don't even think about walking. They can walk just fine and
Right.
never think about it anymore. And it's like,
Right.
oh my God, that's it.
Right.
Like, that's it.
And that's why if I come across a client that is extremely fearful, for me, it's best for them to step into wholesaling because that eliminates almost all the risk, right? You don't take title to the property. You're not putting money into the property. You're not rehabbing the property. You're not using your credit. So wholesaling eliminates the risk. All you got to do is find the deal, put it in a contract and expose that deal to everybody else and see if it's interesting. If it falls apart, you didn't lose anything.
Right. Right.
So,
And it can be those baby steps, right? And that's the thing, whichever that next step is. And we all want to rush to the offer part. That is the fun part, but I always believe education is step one. So even
yeah.
if you feel like you want the end house, but that started one day with listening to something, with doing something. You haven't gotten as far as you have in martial arts by skipping days. Many years ago you started and you're only as good now because it's just day after day, and y'all, time's going by anyways. That's what, no matter what, it's going to be 5 years from now, and
Right.
there's a story you can tell. I was asking myself, what do you want to say you did? Because when all you can do is tell a story about it, what do you want to say you did? And it kind of gets me going like, well, I don't want to say this story. All right, let's do this.
Well, I'll tell you also with education, I mean, God forbid I have to have heart surgery. Am I going to go and, go to a doctor that learned how to do heart surgery off of YouTube University or someone that actually went and paid for medical school and became an intern and winged off of another surgeon? You know what I mean? So education will also cost, and it'll cost time and it'll cost some money. Doesn't mean you got to go spend a lot of money, but understand that if you're going to be proficient and you're going to want to build some sort of empire, you're going to have to spend some time and money into it. Nothing wrong with
Right.
free podcasts like this or going to YouTube. Those are supplements, but you got to get to the gym. And to get to the gym, you got to pay for a
Exactly.
membership and you got to start working those muscles to where you're sore. And if you're not sore, you're not doing enough.
That is a great, great analogy, because if you are out there and you're stuck on the idea that you have to pay for something, let me tell you what, you're thinking about how much money you're trying to save and you have zero idea how much money you're losing.
Mm-hmm.
How often do you go to the gym by yourself? Let's keep that up when it's just you. And then how often do you show up when the personal trainer appointment's on the thing?
And how
That
often
is
do you
the
go to the gym and try to find the closest parking spot to the door because you don't want to
right.
walk?
Right? So I find the furthest one ever. Like, that's my thing. I love walking. Don't give me a chance to walk. But it's true though. But it's the cost. Think of the cost as what keeps you in it. That is that dog in the fight. Because the opposite of that is you're trying to be cheap. Real estate ain't for you if you're trying to be cheap. This is not the world for that. That is
Yeah.
sell something else. Don't do this because this ain't for that. Everybody, the best I know are all in groups, all have been coached or coach, have mentors.
Right.
And a big one is learn from someone that's doing it. That's why I like having people like yourself on the show. Real estate moves too fast to learn from someone who used to do it. That is
Right.
not the way, especially for marketing and the different things that are heavily nuanced by the now. So, Sensei, man, I appreciate you being out there. I could go on and on about these kind all day because these get me jazzed up, man. Because
Well, I tell you, man, things are just rolling in my head with all these little pet peeves that I'm a reality-based guy. I'm a hands-on, tactical type of guy. And when you say something like, you know, learn from someone that's actively doing it versus someone that did it 5 years ago because things have changed, I couldn't agree more. There's so many phony imposters out there that maybe did 1 or 2 deals and now they're selling information. Or, you know, I find that a lot of, new investors coming along or wanting to team up with another new investor and they want to struggle together. And that's kind of like running a two-legged race in a way. It's just, with their ankles tied, it's just, you want to team up with someone that's got the money. And so what? You take 5%. If it's 5% and they get 95, I don't care. It's the journey. It's the education that they can't take away from you at that point. Now, we
Right.
never tell anybody to go into debt to go spend money on real estate. I would never do that. Okay.
Right.
But there's ways that you can navigate to get involved in real estate. Let me give you this example here.
Okay.
You can buy businesses, you can invest in stocks, mutual funds, and commodities and all these other great things. But let me tell you why real estate is so important to be in your arsenal, whether it's a business or a portfolio or both. If I walk into a bank today and say, you know what, stock market's doing good. Where's your loan department so I can borrow money to buy stocks? Oh, there isn't one. But you know what you will find? A mortgage department, whether it's the Great Depression or the Roaring 2000s.
Right.
That should tell you something. And you can get in as an investor on a conventional loan with 20% down. Some even have 15% down. And you can find properties out there that are actually decent properties in decent neighborhoods for $100,000 in some markets. Come on. So if a person can stay focused and disciplined, and our tagline is, disciplined investor. If you can stay focused and disciplined and learn how to cut out the dining and how to cut out the vacations and quit buying the new cars with the spinning rims on it and put that money towards something that's actually going to appreciate. My God. Well, what's the problem with that? People are lazy. People are too comfortable. People just want instant gratification. They would rather have that new car and that flat screen TV than an asset that's going to help their family. It's
Right.
crazy thinking. It goes all the way back to what you said earlier, mindset.
Right. Right. The story you tell yourself is the most important one. It is.
And it's the
It is
story you're going to
determining.
believe.
It's determining everything in front of you. Literally,
That's
it's
right.
science. Like it is provable. It is what is happening, and man, it's why it matters so much, and that's why, you know, Sensei, thanks for being on the show today. There's a reason I try to find people like yourself because you are a professional. You are doing it. Someone that reaches out after this, I feel good about it,
Yeah.
and that's important to me. Because at the highest levels of real estate, y'all, people are givers. People have abundance mindset. We know in this business that if you show up and do the work, you got your house. I'm
Yep.
never going to take your houses from you if you're showing up and working. And guess what? You're never taking mine because
Right.
that's just the way it goes when you show up and do this. So, man, thanks for being here today. Thanks for dropping the knowledge on us. For those that are listening in that want to find more out about Black Belt Investor, the programs, consulting, what's the best way for them to find you?
Yeah, just hit me up on the website at Black Belt Investors. That's plural, blackbeltinvestors.com, or call us at 951-280-1900.
Awesome, man. Thanks for sharing. If you're watching and listening, check our show notes. All of Sensei Gilliland's links will be right there. Again, reach out, book the call. This is not something you do alone. We do it with people. We do it with people, and that's how we have that success. So again, thanks for being here. Thanks everybody for being with us out there. If you got value out of today's episode, please like this episode, share with someone else you think get value out of it. And if you're not a subscriber yet, you know what to do. Click that button. We appreciate every single one of you that follows along with us. We have more conversations coming up with operators just like Sensei Gilliland out there building real businesses in the industry. Thanks for being with us. We'll see you on the next episode.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.